10 Investigates Jenna Bourne found out that the officer resigned from his last law enforcement job after being accused of lying to his supervisor.
That agency's records say his superiors would have fired him if he hadn't resigned first. We found out Haines City Police knew about it and hired him anyway.
Before we get started, I want to take the time to thank Babbel for sponsoring this video. Now, this is right on time because I'm about to take a trip to South America, Colombia to be exact, and I don't speak any Spanish, so therefore I had to learn how to speak Spanish, and Babbel helped me do just that. This app is one of the top language learning apps in the world, and I'm getting first-hand experience on how true this really is. Babbel is scientifically proven by researchers at Yale University, Michigan University, and other major institutions around the country to help you learn a new language in 3 weeks. And let's just say Babbel isn't a fit for you and you don't like it. You can get a full refund within 20 days. They have a 20-day money-back guarantee. All you have to do is write into the customer service before the 20 days expire, and you can get a full refund. And I've been practicing as well. Me llamo Abiyah. Le trae le cuente. Means my name is Abiyah. Can I have the check, please? I plan to visit a lot of Spanish restaurants. I love Spanish food. And like we all know, learning a new language can be difficult and a little intimidating, but Babbel makes it easy. I simply pull out my little handy dandy Babbel app and I do 15 minutes of practice each day, and I improve each and every day, and I'm confident that I will fully know everything that I need to know by the time I make my trip. Which language would you guys like to learn? Put it down in the comment section. And if you feel that Babbel isn't for you, remember there's a 20-day money-back guarantee. All you have to do is write into the customer service within the 20 days and you will get a full refund. And if you act right now, you can get 60% off your subscription. Again, I would like to thank Babbel for sponsoring this video. This week we have covered a lot. From officers who screamed racial slurs at people while off duty, officers who were arrested themselves for beating their wives after holding a family at gunpoint while they're trying to rush their dog to see the vet so that the dog could possibly live. We've had officers holding guns to the heads of individuals who they were holding down on the ground. We had a sheriff who was elected sheriff and caught on video kicking a man in the crotch. And just yesterday, I myself, and I know several other channels, have covered this story about a police officer entering the home of a woman and shooting her, killing her, because she was holding a pot of water and because of certain words she stated to him. Very, very horrible week in law enforcement. A lot we've covered. And today it continues. Today we're going to look at a Haines City, Florida police officer who resigned before being fired from the Polk County Sheriff's Office. And if you had to resign before being fired from the Polk County Sheriff's Office, it had to be pretty bad. But he did so. Then he goes over to Haines City, Florida, where his streak continues. And you're going to see how he brutally attacks a driver over tinted windows. Why is this important? Because like all of the other videos we've covered, all of these officers had warning signs. There were red flags. Before these guys kill someone or they do go home and just beat the crap out of their wife, there's always red flags for these guys. And it just goes to show how these departments don't care. Your safety, and we have to get it by now. Our safety is not a priority. It's not at the top of the list. Let's jump into this video. Leave your thoughts down below. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this one. And hopefully we won't see this guy actually being some type of killer in the future, but I think he will be. That's what it always is.
Earlier today, 10 Investigates has a new story for you that they've been putting together. New at 6, they've uncovered information about a Haines City police officer accused and cleared of excessive force. Now, this is a situation our team has been keeping an eye on for more than a year. 10 Investigates Jenna Bourne found out that the officer resigned from his last law enforcement job after being accused of lying to his supervisor.
That agency's records say his superiors would have fired him if he hadn't resigned first. We found out Haines City Police knew about it and hired him anyway.
Haines City Police records say this all started with a traffic stop over dark window tint.
Get on the ground. Can you tell me for what? Get on the ground. Can you tell me for what? Now. For what?
Hands on my back. Oh! Hands on my back. No! Now, put your hands on my back now. Oh! Put your hands on my back. Oh, you just... Put your hands on my back now. Oh! Put your hands on my back. Serious?
The videos appear to show Officer Justin Vasquez striking Miranda Brundage III.
Oh! Stop!
Throwing him onto the hood of a hot car and holding him down. Police records say Brundage resisted arrest and was legally carrying a concealed gun.
Who dropped the ball?
Activists asked the police department to fire Vasquez. They didn't. Nearly a year later, 10 Tampa Bay told you the police department issued what they called a letter of retraining, a memo pointing out what he could have done differently. But it exonerated him from complaints about competency and improper conduct.
I don't see that this was handled properly. I think there should have been another level of discipline for this officer.
10 Investigates has now learned Officer Vasquez made an abrupt exit from his last law enforcement job. Polk County Sheriff's Office records show he resigned from that agency in 2018 after they told him about an internal investigation into his actions. That investigation ultimately found Vasquez disobeyed his direct supervisor's orders to fill out paperwork about money seized during a search warrant, then lied about it. This letter of resignation says, "I have made some personal decisions and I will be resigning from the agency." His superiors wrote they would have fired him if he hadn't resigned first. And this handwritten note says he is not eligible for rehire. 2 years later, in 2020, Vasquez applied to the Haines City Police Department. His job application shows he told them he had resigned after allegations of misconduct. We checked with the Polk County Sheriff's Office, and this form confirms Haines City Police reviewed Vasquez's disciplinary file after he applied, so they knew about his history. We requested interviews with Vasquez to get his side of the story, and with Police Chief Greg Gorick about why Haines City Police hired someone with a documented history of lying and who's not eligible for rehire at another agency. The city spokesperson told us neither were available for an interview, but sent us emailed statements from Deputy City Manager Lloyd Stewart. He said, in part, during our hiring process, Vasquez provided an explanation to us regarding his departure from his previous agency, which, had it been provided at the time of the investigation, in our assessment, may have mitigated the allegations and resulted in a different outcome. The state attorney's office confirmed that the circumstances that led up to Vasquez's decision to resign did not and would not negatively affect their ability to prosecute future investigations.
Vasquez was recently transferred from an officer to a detective position. A spokesperson for Haines City Police tells us this was not a promotion and it did not come with a salary increase. Reporting in Haines City, Jenna Bourne, 10 Investigates.
It's only a matter of time before this guy ends up killing someone. We've seen it time and time again. We have to hold these police departments accountable. We have to speak up, speak out, and let them know that we're watching, okay? We have to wear body cams. We have to have a dash cam, because what's happening is these officers are acting, hurting citizens, quitting their jobs so they can avoid any type of punishment and just go to another department. And if you're not recording the police, if you're not filing the complaints, if you're not filing lawsuits, if you're not doing whatever it is you possibly can do to hold them accountable, it's going to continue. Always hold them accountable, always know your rights, and always record the police. With that being said, We the People University, signing off.